Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Not just a YouTube channel, your main source for bull breed entertainment. I offer video services such as stud features, kennel features, and full event coverage. I also offer photography services such as puppy shoots, individual dog shoots, and full kennel shoots. You can see examples of each on any and all Bull-NA-ChinaShop social media pages. You can also see an in-depth look into my life and the American Bully lifestyle with my vlog found on the YouTube channel as well. Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV is also the home of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop Podcast, a real, raw, uncut podcast dedicated to the bull breeds and the American Bully lifestyle. You can find all episodes of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop Podcast, stud features, kennel features, event features, and all of the vlogs on youtube.com/Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Check it out and hit subscribe today.
I'm taking applications right now. I need more hands. What the fuck is going on? You amazing motherfuckers. And we are Bull-NA-ChinaShop back again. You want to advertise for something? www.advertise my shit. Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. What the fuck is the week? Stop taking fucking pictures of the public. We're going to be hosted by yours truly, Todd Lonely Pond. No.
Yo, you beautiful motherfuckers. Episode 55. Okay, we're doing a little something different again this week. I know last week I said I was starting the solo Saturday edition of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. I don't like doing shit by myself. If this is not a rant show, this is a conversation show. This is not me ranting in front of a fucking camera. I don't even like doing that, so I'm not doing that, okay? So this now, on Saturdays, instead of solo Saturdays, it's going to be called Sweet Life Saturdays, and I will be joined by Jamie Sweet. That's why it's called Sweet Life Saturdays. So welcome, Jamie Sweet, to the first edition of Sweet Life Saturday on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast.
Thank you. We can both rant now.
Yeah, so now, instead of just me ranting by myself, we can just rant together, and people will hate us both together. Actually, but what's going to happen is they're going to hate me more, and they're going to love you. I already know how it's going to work.
I don't know about all that.
Okay, so, as I said, every week on Saturdays now, we're going to be putting out a podcast. Also, it's going to be full video available on YouTube as well. So if you are listening to the podcast right now and you would like to see visual of this podcast, hit the pause button, hit stop, go to Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV on YouTube and watch the full video of Jamie and I. We actually got a official Sweet Life Saturday studio set up and the whole 9 yards. I'll put a little snippet on Snapchat, the Snapchat story, the Instagram story. I'll put that on there for everybody. But basically what we're going to do is on Saturdays we're going to pick a topic. We're going to kind of go through and discuss it and have either a debate if we disagree or just kind of go through things if we agree, cover the main points of it just to help you guys out. And then every week we're going to offer a product of the week, which will be available if you have products that you want to be featured in Product of the Week. I'll give you that information later. We're also going to be doing a brand new segment on Sweet Life Saturday called the Sweet Spotlight, where Jamie Sweet picks a topic every week and kind of goes through and tries to educate all of us, myself included, on something that we should know and we don't yet, or something maybe a lot of us have never even heard of. Also, we're going to be continuing with the what the fuck of the week, shit that just irritates us and makes us say, what the fuck? Just randomly throughout the day, I probably say that to myself 5 times. Like, what the fuck is going on? And then basically every Wednesday, it's still going to be a regular schedule with the guests on the podcast. We're still going to do that regularly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Lucas.
We're still going to be doing that regularly, but Saturdays, we're going to be doing a little something different. Like I said on the last show, this next year is going to be groundbreaking shit. No one's done it. No one's going to be doing
I'm so
it.
excited about that.
It's us.
Yeah.
That's who's doing it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to open the show. First of all, I'm going to take these headphones off that I don't need. We're going to open the show with a little thing we call a confirmation assessment tool. Now, for people who don't know what that is, I'm going to have Jamie just kind of explain what a confirmation assessment tool is and what, like, the main reason behind one.
The word tool. We hear that a lot. Tools. Dogs are tools. These are tools. This is a tool. Tools help us get through. So, what I made up for my breed, because it was a new breed, and it was, some people didn't know what it was, you know, what it was supposed to be, what is expected. So this was something that I made up to make it easier for everybody to understand. That what this also does is get us on the same page. The standard, the dogs that are being shown, the dogs that are being awarded, because it's all supposed to work synergistically.
Right.
So the breeders breed to the standard.
So basically, this is something that's in addition to the breed standard, something that goes along with the breed standard.
Right, a tool. So you wouldn't go in the ring and do this on every single dog.
Right.
You know, because it's very timely if you do it all. When you're starting out, when you're breeding, when you're new, it's a piece of equipment so you understand it. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's broken down into categories. And we have the ideals. These are faults that you'd look for if you were unfamiliar with the breed standard.
Right.
There's a place for comments, so you can, you know, if you were judging a show, you can write down, you know, what you saw so you remember. And then it has a score.
Right, because people don't understand that, you know, before what I call modern day confirmation shows, even up to about 15 years ago, the judge walked in the ring with a scorecard, and there was a point value attached to every part and piece of the dog, and that scorecard had to be filled out on every dog in the ring. Doesn't happen nowadays, but something like this could definitely help everyone get on a more consistent thought pattern as far as when you're reading the standard and breaking it down, what is important to pay attention to and what is not. What faults are important to have or to pay attention to that you don't want, according to what breed you're looking at. Now this one's for the shorty bull, but this could be you could do something like this for every single breed, just to help you understand the breed better and help comprehend the standard better.
And what this should do, the way it's broken down into the point system, this would bring consistency to the breed.
Right.
Because of the points being, you know, everything would be the same. So to one judge, you know, cowhawks may be the main thing, but this puts it all in perspective, which will bring
Well, it'll take preference out of it also.
It should take
Your
preference
interpretation of the standards probably going to be pretty close to the next guys if you guys are looking at the same values and faults and putting virtues and faults and putting the same value on these virtues and faults. You're going to have a more consistent way of look just across the board. The breeders, the handlers, the owners, the judges are just going to think about that breed in a more consistent way. You're going to look at the positives and negatives and the value attached to those positive and negatives in a more consistent way.
How many times do you hear a breed's inconsistent? And who does it get blamed on automatically? The breeders.
Always the breeders.
Always the breeders. But it's not just the breeders that make a breed inconsistent. All of us contribute to that. If judges are not all on the same page, then it'd be inconsistent judging.
Right.
And we have inconsistencies all across the board. And so this is just a way, I did this years ago so people could understand what's ideal because I had a new breed.
It's such a good idea.
And I just wanted to make it easy so, even if a judge was not completely familiar with my breed, this would make it very easily understood.
So let's start right here with the general appearance section. Okay, so if you have, what we're going to do is we're going to go right through the BBC Shorty Bull Standard. Okay, we have a confirmation assessment tool sitting here. Obviously, you don't, but what you can do is go right now, hit pause, go to bbc.com, right? Or is it?
Actually, this
Coalition?
is on Shorty Bull Federation in the files.
No, I'm talking about the standard.
Not
The
standard,
assessment tool.
Okay.
So the standard, go to bullbreedcoalition.com, bring up the Shorty Bull standard that's on there, okay? And you could read right along with what we're reading along with, and see how this confirmation assessment tool helps us break down the standard. And we're experienced with it. You might not be as experienced with it, but this will help you get a better grasp of that standard when you read it. So go to bullbreedcoalition.com, bring up the Shorty Bull standard, and we're going to start right with the general appearance section.
So the general appearance is very important in any breed. It's your first impression.
Right.
It's when you see something for the first time, what sticks out to you? What catches your eye, what catches your attention. So that's a very important part of it. So ideally, the Shorty Bull should be small, compact, muscular, and thick, in a nutshell. So that tells you small, it's going to have some muscle, it's not going to be fragile. So over here it says short, small, over 15 inches tall is a fault. Right. That's a major fault in our breed. It's a DQ actually.
That's right, disqualification.
Yes. So if they wicket the dog, it's over 15 inches, it needs to be dismissed from the ring.
Okay.
Definitely not
but
show dog.
You need to wicket the dog.
Yes.
You can't just go by your eye and say, that dog's too big. There's an actual number that you go by. If you're going to dismiss a dog, you better pull a fucking wicket out and measure the dog.
That would be a tool.
Wicket would be another tool. Motherfucker dismissing dogs without wicketing, that's another tool. That's another version of tool.
What that does, if you don't wicket, and it's just your impression, if a dog is leggy, it probably
proportion could throw your eye off so fast.
Appears tall. Now you've accused the dog of being tall without a wicket. You possibly could have damaged the dog's whole show career.
Or breeding career, stud career.
Breeding career, stud career.
The bottom line is, if you're going to dismiss anything, you ought to be able to prove that the disqualification exists.
You need to be able to prove.
Anyway, that's me on a whole different side thing.
That would be our rants. That does bother both of us a lot.
That will happen.
Okay, so the points, the maximum points, the whole dog's worth 100 points. I made it easy. 100 points. So this is worth 20 points because your first impression is major. Your first impression may make you want to get that breed. It may steer you clear away from that breed. It's major.
Right.
So that's 20 points. But the faults are listed. Long in the back, that's a significant fault.
Right, because it says the word compact in the ideal description. See, what we're comparing is the ideal description and the faults in that first section. So it says the ideal Shorty Bull should be small, compact, muscular, and thick. So anything the opposite of that is obviously faults.
Right. A fragile Shorty Bull. A tall Shorty Bull. Does that even make any sense? No.
Tall.
Tall Shorty Bull.
The word short is in the title of the breed. It's a Shorty Bull. Okay. Tall and short. That's opposites. That's antonyms.
That's like a skinny fat girl.
That's see. We can't get into the feminist talk because you two will kick me off. They do that. We can't get into
ruin it?
No.
On the first day?
No.
Okay, so the next part is the head. These are head breeds, It's worth 10 points. And it goes through the skull, the muzzle, the expression, the eyes, ears, pigment, and bite. Okay, and it lists the faults. What you should not see. You should not see a narrow skull because it's supposed to be round, broad, and cheeky. Shouldn't see a pointed, snipey, narrow muzzle. Because in the standard, good breadth, and depth. And it goes through there. That's 10 points on the head. Then we go to the body. which will be the chest, ribs, and loin. Another 10 points, explaining what should be there, what shouldn't. The neck, top line, and tail. Sometimes when the Shorty Bull's judged, I really feel like this is the only thing that gets looked at, the top line.
Well, it's definitely something that I feel like gets more emphasis put on it than it should at this point in the breed. But that's just my opinion.
But the top line is very important. I'd say the top line is the sum total of everything below it.
Right, because of how the shoulders are built, how the rear's built.
Right. If it's down in the pasterns, if it's straight in the stifles, all of that affects the top line.
But what I'm saying is compared to, and top line will be part of your general impression. If it has if it has the correct silhouette or not.
Right.
The top line will be part of that for sure.
Definitely.
But if you have, the whole neck, top line, and tail, the whole back line of that dog is the same value as the head alone. You see what I mean? So like the value on the head itself is that's a small area with the same amount of value as the entire back line of the dog. Neck, top line, tail. See what I'm saying? So I feel like when people get stuck on the tails, let's see, tail set for example. The breed's how old? 18 years? 17 years? 18 years? The tail set at this point, other than, tail sets sometimes come along with a flat hip set or short hip, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, or an extreme angle to the croup where the tail's sitting way down, something like that. But a tail off by a half an inch in the tail set, is that what we're worried about right now? Is that where
And you have to ask yourself, does that affect soundness? Because that's what we're looking at with all these faults. And a lot of you will say, soundness. What is soundness? That is how the dog is put together and how the faults or virtues affect wear and tear over the span of the dog's life. So because it's so bowed, will that affect its movement now? But what will it be like later in life? Because it rubs together, it can be arthritic. We could see problems from that, which means it's unsound.
Right.
So that's what these are. That's what all the faults are. A tail set, that's probably not going to affect that much. Not as much as knees or, shoulders or splayed feet, those sort of things.
Well, also, my point is like, in 60 years, let's hope that you have a consistent enough look across the breeds to where you have to worry about the tail set. Until we get there, let's fuck the tail set for a second and let's worry about getting some type in this breed, some consistency across the breed.
Yeah, and let's worry about trying to get everybody on the same page.
Right. And that's what, going back to the assessment tool, that's the goal of that thing, of the assessment tool itself, is to get everybody thinking in a like mind about the standard, about the breed.
Let's talk about why that's important. The breeders should breed to a standard. The judges are judging to a standard. And the show should reflect ideal dogs.
Right.
So what this helps us do is promote ideal dogs, because the novice that's coming in is influenced by dog shows, by champions. And they're getting a dog, and they'll want to breed. Right. And this is going to help us all get on the same page. And
okay, this is a example I like to use. All right, if we like to compare, the standard is a blueprint for the breed. If you were building a building, if you're an architect building a building, the standard would be like your blueprint that building has to be built off of. Okay, the judges is like the building inspector that comes in after your building is built to inspect your building. The thing is, they both have the same code, right? The person building the building and the person inspecting the building are both going by the same exact city code. So everybody's got the same black and white blueprint to go by, all right? How they read that blueprint might be a little bit of a gray area between them if they see something differently.
Slightly, it's to be expected.
Same thing as interpretation in a standard, right? So if we all can have the same exact code, blueprint, standard to go by, and we all look at it the same way or in a like mind, those little interpretation discrepancies aren't going to really make a huge difference over the course of the whole breed.
No, and it may be a rocky You know, you may get caught in the crossfire when this all comes into play. It's possible. You know, if you're winning and you're breeding and, you know, you can only show in this registry because there's no competition and it's okay over here, it may not fly over here. And that's what we're trying to, you know, we've got to come together somewhere.
Oh, here, I've actually got...
For consistency.
I've actually got written down, stop basing your ideals of what the breed should be off of your dogs. Okay? If you look at your own dogs and you're basing that is the ideal of the breed, you're already behind. You're already off center. Okay? That's what this is for. That's what the confirmation assessment tool is, to help us get everybody to where they understand what the ideal is, so then you can be honest about evaluating your own dogs, not the other way around.
Right.
You don't say my dogs are perfect. They're, you know, that's what the standard is. So when you read the standard, you see your dog. Mm-hmm. That's called kennel blindness, but that's part of being kennel blind. We got to stop doing that. We have to have widespread self-policing. Mm-hmm. Right? Like
we do.
The whole, you know, the entire. Let's use Shorty Bulls as an example. You have, you know, somebody in the breed that's not good for the breed. We have to police them ourselves. There's not going to be some magic fucking federation that comes out of the sky,
right,
zaps them with a laser beam, and that's going to take care of the problem. That's not going to happen. We have to be responsible for policing them ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And part of that is this point system and doing it the same every time. Very similar to the same.
Right.
You know? So.
Okay, moving on. We got to the neck, tail, top line.
Yeah, neck, tail, top line. We talked about top line. So the next portion, shoulders, front legs, elbows, hind legs, pastern feet, locomotion things. Again, it just goes through the standard and it tells you what you should not see. So if you're looking out there and you see fine bones in the front legs, turning in or out excessively, Queen Anne legs.
Let's explain what a Queen Anne front end is.
A Queen Anne front end.
Now that's
Can I draw a picture?
If you want. Now that's referred to an old furniture. If you have furniture that have Queen Anne legs on them, they bow out at the top, come back in toward the center at the bottom, and then roll out at the bottom again. So if you're thinking about it as a dog, elbows out, pasterns in, feet back out.
This is like Pictionary.
Oh shit!
Ta-da!
That's like off the fly. I don't know how she just did that. But that's a Queen Anne.
This is Queen Anne, like a Queen Anne chair.
Right.
Queen
Exactly.
Anne legs on a chair. I don't know if Queen Anne had legs like that, but the chair does.
I'm not sure who Queen Anne is, to be honest.
I don't
with you.
either,
But these assessment tools, the one we're using is for the Shorty Bull, obviously, but this is something that you can make for every breed, any breed you're interested in. This is something you can sit down, go buy this blueprint. Now, if you would like to see an example of a breed assessment tool, you can go to where?
It's on Shorty Bull Federation. That's a forum on Facebook. And in the files, it's there. You can print it off. You can print the standard off. You can compare it. This is something that...
So they should go to the Shorty Bull Federation group on Facebook, and can they search assessment tool, confirmation assessment tool?
Yes, in the files. It's right there. You download it. You can,
okay.
And it's several pages, but it is, you know, it makes this so easy. So easy. It also goes into gait, coordination, temperament, and then we end with, notice this is another 20 points. So this is major 2. Type.
Right.
Overall impression. Type. Overall impression, type, and character. Character is such an important part of our breed. You know, they should be super confident, well balanced, showy, capable, bouncy. This is a happy little dog, eager to do things. You know, so that's very important too. Is this dog doing what it's supposed to be doing? And when you look at these, and your breed doesn't fit into this, and you know, what should we do then? You know, maybe it's time to really evaluate is that the breed you want? You know?
Right.
If you want to go too far off the direction of the standard, then you need to do like I did.
Start your own shit.
Yeah, and good luck. It's
Understand,
crazy.
though, starting your own shit does not mean you have 3 dogs in your garage and crates, and you're going to start a breed. That's not going to happen.
No.
It's going to take you 600 years to do something worthwhile that way. You know what I mean? At certain times, you're going to have 20, 30, 40. You're going to have a chunk of dogs to really make your own shit.
That's what I say. 200 years or 200 dogs. Think about that.
200 years or 200. So you're saying unless you're working with a 200 dog base, it's going to take you 200 years. Anything
if
less.
You're trying to make a breed with 2 dogs, good luck. I mean, you must be Methuselah.
We're going to call that
forever.
The Moses line syndrome.
But imagine this. Imagine if you had the eye you have now, the experience you have now. Like if I was going to do this again, and I started with a good number of dogs. This wasn't first. And I didn't start with 200, of course. But I started with a good number of dogs.
Right, yeah, let's make that clear. Jamie does not have 200 dogs out here.
But some days it feels like I do. No, but imagine if you had a team that wanted to start a new breed. You know, I see that breed that's going around. I can't think of the name of it right now.
The Presa Canario.
There you go, that one.
What's it called?
That's a good one. I don't know.
Damn it. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You probably know what it is. Can you imagine if you had a team of breeders that agreed, this is what we've got to get, and you had, even if you had 100 breeding age dogs that you handpicked for their traits?
Yeah, you could really make some progress.
You could make some progress quick. You know? So this is a lot slower, but 4 or 5 dogs and 1 guy, I wouldn't even attempt it. It's too hard.
It's a pipe dream, man.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
hard.
going to happen. Let's go back to this last section on type. Now, Jamie and I are going to do an entire episode on breed type. So we're going to break it down section for section, word for word, what the fuck breed type really means. But the what she's got highlighted here is the character. Now, character is the most important part of breed type, all right? It's the first thing listed every time you look at something. It's besides the silhouette, the first impression, probably the most important part of that dog. If the dog does not act like it's supposed to act, it's lacking as far as the type area goes. That character for a shorty bull, and this is like I said for any breed, you write down the character it should have, and if it's not showing those virtues, if it's not carrying those traits, you know what I mean? It's obviously lacking. That's just to help you assess that. This confirmation assessment tool is awesome. It's awesome. I suggest you take a look on the Shorty Bull Federation board. Take a look at the assessment tool. Compare it to the standard. Take your standard that you were on bullbreedcoalition.com. Take that confirmation assessment tool. Put them side by side. I promise you it'll help you understand that breed standard just that much better.
Yes, that's what it was designed to do. Make a clear understanding of this breed. So we can move forward farther, faster. That's the goal. I want to have a perfect dog, or as close to it as I can get. And I want everybody to have as close as we can get to that. You know?
Yeah, and everybody's going to have their own twist on it. Everybody's going to have
There's
own
plenty of room for
personal touch on it, because how you interpret the standard. So even if you're using this tool right here, this assessment tool, and it says, you know, has virtues and faults laid out, how you assess words like good breadth and depth. What good depth is to the stop, or depth to the furrow is to me. What good depth is to me might be a little different than what good depth is to Jamie. So that's where our little tiny bit of interpretation is going to come in there.
But let me stop you right there. If you were new 10 years ago or 20 years ago or whenever you came into this, if you were new and you started looking at dogs and there was a consistency, you would have more of a clear understanding what good breadth and depth is.
Right.
Because you would see
From
it.
the examples
Yes.
that you see, right.
And it may change slightly. It wouldn't change greatly.
Right, so another example is I'm just the descriptive words is what we're talking about. The words used to describe these traits that are specific to the breed itself. Like
Pendulous. Pendulous flues, like that.
pendulous flues means there should be some movement, should be some swinging around, should be a little flop to them. Or large round bones to take a little piece out of the American Bully standard. What I consider to be large and what she considers to be large could be two different things. But again, if you look at the breed itself as a whole, you get an idea of what the bone should be. So large should be within a certain window for you. You should have a certain idea of what it should be in the first place. But large, to me, that's where the little bit of interpretation comes into every standard. Words like those descriptive words, broad, deep, large, like those are descriptive words that we can all kind of define this little bit differently, but within that acceptable range that's within the breed that you see already.
And our standards need to be elastic. So, you know.
Ooh, I like that.
Elastic.
I
That's
like
a good
that.
word, isn't
Ah,
it?
I'm
Yeah.
stealing that
Elastic.
for sure.
But you know, sometimes people want these, you know, right down to the wire. And we're not going to get it like that. We're not. We have to have a little breathing room.
Right.
A little breathing room. Not a whole bunch. A little breathing room. You know? So we can't get everything just right down to the... Why? We can't. We want to get close.
Consistency does not mean cookie cutters.
Yeah, it doesn't mean identical.
It just
That is
means
true.
everything carries the same traits. Okay, let's use like Asian people for an example, right? People, when you think of Asian people in general, you think of certain traits that they all carry. They don't all look the same. They don't all look exactly the same. They just all carry certain traits that we all associate with Asian people. The same fucking thing, people. Where dogs are never going to look cookie cutter identical, never. But you have to find stuff that carries the same traits. They all have broad muzzles. They all have deep stops. They all have round heads. Does that mean their eyes are all going to be shaped exactly the same? They're all going to be the same color, and their nose are going to be the same exact pigment every single... No. Doesn't mean that.
No.
Consistency does not mean cookie cutters. Is
No.
what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But this assessment tool will help all of us get a more consistent way of thinking about this breed and about the standard. That's a great topic for the opening topic for the first show right there. Okay, so now we're going to switch it up a little bit and go to product of the week. Okay, episode 55, Bull-NA-ChinaShop Podcast. Product of the week this week is Gamechanger. Gamechanger is like a granule additive.
It's freeze-dried meat.
Freeze-dried meat that you sprinkle on. Well, you know more about it. You can tell more about it than I can.
Okay, I love Gamechanger. I've tried a lot of things, but it's freeze-dried meat. It comes fish, chicken, or beef, and you can use it as a top dressing, which is what I do. If you can feed it as a full diet as well.
Okay. So you instead of
can
just
feed it
sprinkling
as a-
on top of the
yeah.
food, you can do whole meals out of the Gamechanger.
You can, yeah.
And it's high calorie stuff, high protein, high fat stuff. So if you're trying to keep your dogs like full, but leaned out, like or tucked up in the stomach, like if you have working dogs, something like that, and you're trying to keep the muscles full, but tucked up, maybe that as a full diet would work because you could feed a little bit of it and get the amount of calories that you need, where your dog's stomach wouldn't be all distended and bloated out.
Yeah, it's a good healthy weight.
For what I see from the Shorty Bulls, just from seeing, what has it been, about 6 months or 7 months that you've been using it?
Yeah.
Everything is just thick as fuck. Like the coats look good.
Yeah.
Everything looks good. And when I ask about it, Gamechanger is what I got. I personally am going to start using it. Going to start sprinkling it on
Right.
Maestro's food. See how that works out. So next time I bust him out,
Oh, good. I
he's
can't
probably
wait.
going to look like some sort of rhinoceros. I'm just telling
You know
you
what
guys know.
You know what I really like this? There's a couple things that I really love this for. One, if we go to a dog show, we have to drive a long way.
Right.
A long way.
We've talked about that a
Yeah.
lot. We've talked about
First
that.
thing that happens to my dogs, they quit eating, quit drinking. We're in the car. They're losing weight the whole entire trip.
Every time.
Every time. Get to the show, they look gant. This stuff, when I get to the show on Gamechanger, I'm in show shape, look good. I love it for that. I
So
also,
it helps them eat on the road, helps them keep their appetite on the road.
yeah, I get them a little chunky, heavy.
Right.
We're ready to go for a drive and look good when we get there. And that's really important to me because so many times, we just suck up on the road. But mothers, I've always wanted something to get my mothers through the nursing phase without looking like a bag of bones, without, a rough coat, all the things that mothers do with nursing a large litter. So I put my mothers on this. And
So it's like a multi-purpose, like an
Oh, this-
all-purpose.
I love this stuff. So I put my moms on it, and they look good the whole time. Shiny hair, a good weight,
I
good milk.
definitely need to try
The
some
puppies
of that.
the puppies look good. And then when I wean the puppies, I sprinkle the Gamechanger. That's what I wean them on. Sprinkle it on their mush.
Okay, so if you would like to check out Gamechanger
Mm-hmm.
or want more info, there will be a link in the description of the podcast and the YouTube video, or you can private message, spell Q's name.
The email. What were we supposed to do?
No, I'll put the email link
Okay.
in the description, or they can private message
Quentin Askin on Facebook. QUENTIN and that's your Gamechanger go-to guy.
Facebook Messenger Quentin Askin, or click the link in the description for any more info or questions about Gamechanger.
But really, I've tried a lot of things. I love this stuff. I love it. I love the fat content.
She literally
Great
has been
stuff.
preaching to me about it for 6 months or something like that.
Really, it's wait till they try it.
Okay, so
You're not
now,
gonna believe it.
first time ever Sweet Spotlight.
Okay.
I know you had a topic you wanted to talk about. We've even got a special guest
We
that's been
do.
patiently waiting to
Yes.
come hang out with us and speak with us. So go ahead, tell them what we're talking about.
Okay, we're talking about apprenticeship, mentorship. We hear those words a lot. When you think about your mentor, it's not, you just can't go get one. You can't just go get a mentor. A mentor is someone that's experienced, that chooses you. They choose to put their time into you. You're worth it.
So you can't just sign up on a list like
I mean, you
there's no
can
like,
sign up on a list, but
if I wanted
to
to be a
really
mentor.
truly be mentored, a mentor chooses to spend time with you, to teach you, to give you the secrets. You're worth it. A mentor sees something in you: drive, passion, your work ethic. Happy. He sees something in you, no matter what sort of mentor. And so, apprenticeship, that is also important too. When you want to do something so badly, first of all, you know that you want to do that. And then you're willing to do an apprenticeship, which usually means you want to do it so badly. You want to help for free, for very low wages, whatever, for a period of time. You want to learn the trade. It's not exactly something you read in a book. It's a skill. It's a craft. It's something that must be taught, and it's something that you must master the craft.
Right. So, and for me, my experience with it is the only real apprentices I've ever met were like union apprentices. Like
Right.
you'd have the journeyman who was the expert, the guy in charge on the job, unless like a boss showed up. But you had the journeyman there, and then the journeyman always had his apprentice, the guy that was learning from the expert.
Yes, through daily activities.
Right. Hands-on training,
Hands-on.
on-the-job training.
Yeah.
So how would you get on-the-job training in dogs?
Well, this is very interesting. You can have some dogs, but 2 dogs is not like a kennel.
Right.
Very different. Dogs, I'm going to call it dogs in confinement, is a kennel. Dogs in confinement. A house dog, or 2 or 3, They may be immune to different things. Dogs in confinement, they have their own, they're all together. So if it makes them, something makes them sick because they're in confinement, it's like daycare.
Right.
Take the new kid to the daycare. He's going to come home with a cold. So it's very, very different. From the sickness they can get to your daily routine, there's just so many things that are different about a kennel. You know, it's on a larger scale.
Even not to interrupt you, but even me, when I made the move from Pennsylvania to here, what was it? It's almost 4 years.
Is it really?
It's almost 4 years.
Wow.
But going from, let's say, 12 dogs to seeing the operation here, a little bit of almost a culture shock, because you get the idea of, like, I had kennels, I had dogs in confinement, but a much smaller scale than a professional operation, and I didn't realize that until I actually saw and helped operate a professional operation. It's different. It's a challenge. Different challenges.
It's a different challenge.
It's different.
Yeah. So this week, I have a lot of people come visit, and it's a lot of fun. I've had a few apprentices, and it was fun this week. I've had a wonderful apprentice, and I want to bring him on the show tonight. Mr.
I'm actually going to slide over so he can sit down. Lucas, what's his last name?
Wagner.
Lucas
Mr.
Wagner. Have a seat, sir.
Yep.
Here,
Lucas.
you scoot over a little bit, and I'll kneel right down here beside you.
Lucas wanted to apprentice with me, and Lucas is 12, and he has, what, do you have 2 dogs? 3 dogs?
I have 5,
Oh, I'm way
and
off.
then we just got rid of 2 pups,
Mhm.
and they're not all American bullies. We have 1 regular game pit.
So he has a small number of dogs, and his
Bull
whole,
breeds, though? Bull
Bull
breeds and
breeds.
American Pit Bull Terrier?
Yeah.
That's bull breeds?
and his family's involved, and so I met Lucas last year, and he wanted to come and apprentice. So tell me about this week, Lucas. He just jumped right in. He's 12, and I said, "Why do you want to come and apprentice, Lucas?"
You know, I wanted to get out of the house and mess with more bigger kennels than what I have, because I only have the 5 dogs. She's got more than 10. And
One more than
I
Yeah,
like,
a couple.
yeah, a couple more than 10. Well, I wanted to try something harder instead of having something easy. And I just wanted to get out of the house, go do something with dogs. And there wasn't really any shows around me. Well, Jamie was around me.
Is this kid up for adoption?
No, he's mine, Ty. Just forget it. I got first dibs. I'm
What
gonna
the
clone this kid.
fuck?
Really. So he comes to the house, and you know, it's just me and Lucas and Nisa. And what do?
We get up in the mornings and we clean out kennels. I clean out kennels. They work with more dogs than I do at the time, and then I'll help them.
And what's a regular day? Like, was it different than your day?
Yeah, it was a lot different.
Okay.
Because, like, me, I wake up and I only have 5 dogs to take care of. I wake up now and I've got to take care of all the
Some
dogs that
puppies
are around.
Yeah. And what all did we do this week that was, like, out of the ordinary? Like, you probably didn't do it at your house. Was there anything we did?
Clean kennels.
You've said that like 14 times.
That's what I mean. It's out of the ordinary because
Yeah.
all my dogs are trained from outside of the kennel. from
Right.
house
I
dogs.
know. I'm just kidding you. We do have to clean a lot of kennels. Yeah.
You're
And
getting a PhD in scooping shit right now. This is what's happening.
yeah, he is. Well, we did a microchip.
Yeah, it's a 23-second thing.
23 seconds we did that. Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes maybe you don't know what it takes to put a microchip in your animal.
Can I ask a question? What's the big goal? So obviously you're taking, you know, you like dogs. You like doing kennel life, it seems like. So what's your main goal? Like what's the goal to all this? What is your purpose behind apprenticing?
I just like wanted to kind of figure out how it went with shorty bulls, because I already know how it goes with bullies. And then
Are you gonna have a kennel when you're, like?
yeah,
Are you gonna have a kennel ultimately?
I'm gonna try to have a kennel. If I can't do that, then I'm gonna work my way up to it, and I'm gonna try to make my own breed of what you have.
Okay.
But more of like what I would like of it.
I see.
So
That's awesome.
It'll be shorty bulls, or it'll be something different.
It'd be, I don't know yet, because I'm only 12.
Yeah.
I
well,
haven't figured all of it out.
You're light years ahead of me. When I was 12, I didn't even have a choice to scoop shit. They just said,
Neither did
"Hey,
I.
go scoop the shit," and the shit needs to get scooped. So the fact that you're starting so early and shit, and you have an interest in your,
it's so impressive.
you're like putting the effort forward, dude. That's awesome. That's super dope.
It really is, and we have had a great time. The questions he's asked me, he's 12, blown my mind. This guy did his very first AI.
Well, you
Did a
AI
great
already.
job. Yes. Yeah.
You're way ahead of the curve, sir.
He already knew how to do it. This is things he'd researched on his own. So he said, would you mind if I did that? And I said, are you sure you know how to do that? And he did. He did a great job. I mean, really good job.
That's fantastic.
By himself. Yeah.
I had a little bit of help from Jamie, because I didn't know how it really went, because I didn't.
This was the first time he did
It was my first time doing it.
Yeah.
I was real nervous doing it, because it wasn't my dog.
Yeah, because he was afraid, like we all are. It's, you don't know what that's going to feel like. Or
You don't know till you know.
Mm-mm.
You don't know till you do it. Or if you mess it up, if someone's not there to say you messed it up, sometimes you don't even know you messed it up.
Yeah.
I've heard of people putting holes right through the side of
Lord.
to the side of some walls in there, and it's not good, So, well, listen, I just want to say congratulations. Good to meet you, sir. Thanks for coming on Bull-NA-ChinaShop Podcast and Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV.
Thanks for having me on.
If there's anything we can do in the future to help your progression, next time you're in town to do another week for apprenticeships, I think we should film the whole thing. I think we should do.
I thought you were going to say he should come and apprentice with you two.
Well, my house is not real super kid friendly, right? But that's only because they're not there very often. But I think we should film the whole thing.
We should follow up on this. Yeah, we're working on that, because we have had an extensive week.
This fall maybe. When do you start school?
I start school the 16th of August, and then my first break is in the fall for about a week.
See, that's where we should do right there.
So
5 days at the river, and we'll video the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just swearing at the kid. I'm just dropping F-bombs. It's my bad. See, this is why it's not a kid-friendly. I don't understand.
No, we have had so much fun. He's got a plan. Just to have a plan.
Just to have a plan.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Lucas, I'm proud of you. You've done a great job.
That's awesome, sir. Thanks for being on the show, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on it.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. And I think a lot of people don't understand the time it takes to be considered an expert at something.
Very true.
Do you know what I mean?
Very
like,
true, yes.
with anything that you do, with any...
Yeah, how many hours does it take, do you think, to be an expert?
I think, I don't know, 10,000, I would guess years. I mean, it's got to be years. Years and years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure the exact protocol or whatever for, the union and journeyman and stuff like that, but I know it's not 2 years on the job and you're now the leading expert. I know that.
Right. And it shouldn't be, because it is a craft. It is a craft. There's not just one way to do it. It's very unique to you, how you do it. And we have room to do it that way, so it is a craft that you should learn.
But I think you made a good point with like a mentor, like you have to show someone that you're worth being mentored. And to really have a mentor, you need to have someone that's reached out to you and said, hey, let me tuck you right in here. Let me take you on a journey. Let me show you a few things. You know what I mean? You don't get to volunteer yourself on somebody and now that's your mentor. You know what I mean? You don't get to sign up on some fucking list made up by some random company. Now you're a mentor. That's how people get put into place that don't know what the fuck they're talking about out here handing out educational information to people that actually need help and need information, and now they're getting the wrong information because they have half-assed mentors who aren't even masters at their craft in the first place. How can they be a fucking mentor?
And a mentor, it really probably shouldn't be someone that's in competition with you.
Right. I mean,
Because
right.
are they really going to give you the secrets and really spend the time? That's a very special mentor that does that. You know?
You're definitely opening.
Does your mentor need something from you? No, your mentor needs to be enjoying his time teaching you. You know? It's a source of enjoyment, passing the trade, whatever. You know?
Yeah, I think so,
and
too.
people need to think about those things as well. You know? So I think a lot of people are like, yeah, got a mentor. He's got 2 more dogs than me, been in this 2 years.
Found this name on this website. Now I got a mentor.
I've got a mentor. Yeah.
No, I think that's a good point though, and the thing with that you're doing with Lucas, I mean, that's crazy to me. Like that's scary to me because I can't
be that focused at age 12.
To even know that you want to be involved with dogs. Like I said, for me, it wasn't a choice. It was, hey, go clean the dog shit up, and I hated it. Mm-hmm. But for him to actually like that and like that lifestyle
and to
already,
watch him with the dogs. I mean,
he's fucking sharp too, man.
Yeah, he's very sharp. We did some puppy evaluations, and it was just for fun to see where his eye was at.
Was he close?
He's wicked. Yeah, he's wicked.
See,
this
that's
12-year-old.
That's a threat already.
Used the word top skull, the term top skull. 12.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's gonna be a monster.
I think I know a few people that are in some pretty high positions that don't know what the fuck a top skull is.
Mm-hmm.
My kid's 12 years old. That's awesome. Okay, moving on. This week's What the Fuck of the Week.
I had a doozy this week. I don't know what yours was.
No, start with yours.
Emergency.
Emergency.
I'm like, what's going on? 2 dogs stuck together. Any ideas? What do I do? Obviously, it wasn't a breeder. It was a friend of mine. It was a friend of mine's cousin, actually.
And you just sit there just like, what the
I'm like, don't pull them apart. You could injure them very badly. Please don't
please.
hit them with skillets. Don't put the garden hose on them. It's already too late.
Please don't pull them apart.
Yeah. So, just watch them closely so they don't, run away or roll around or whatever. And then I ended it with, you know what all your cousins are getting for Christmas this year.
What the fuck?
But, it was right in the middle of the day. Emergency.
The what the fuck of the week is basically just, what the fuck? Like, I say to myself, like, what the, even hearing that, it's like, what the fuck? Like, they didn't know?
Why do people want to hurt the dogs? What is that way? Why does it have to be,
I don't know.
Put the garden hose on them. It was cute. But that's like a natural thing.
Just let it roll through their process. They're stuck together for a reason.
They are stuck.
But the thing, he didn't notice that she was swelling up or bleeding all over the place?
Just all of a sudden, the neighbor dog is stuck to her, violating their dog.
Hey, sir, what the fuck? My what the fuck of the week is, I see people make comments, mostly on social media and stuff, but sometimes they'll message me and say, hey, what do you think about the state of dogs nowadays, and everything's bullshit, and the only thing I see is this crap, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you basing your idea of the dogs or the community off of? Facebook? That's not real life. That's if you're basing your entire outlook of the breed or the community on the fact that what you see on Facebook or Instagram, you're missing a huge piece of the pie. And I just read these messages and I'm like, what the fuck are these people even seeing? What are you seeing? If you think about it, when you're on your Facebook, you see, even if you have 5,000 friends, you see 10% of those 5,000 friends. So you see 500 friends' news feeds. That's what you see, 10%. So you're telling me, out of your 5,000 friends, you're only seeing 10% of what's going on. And I'm sure your 5,000 friends are only a fraction of what the actual number of the people in the community are. But you're going to base your entire outlook, an idea behind what the dogs are and what the community is, behind the 10% of people that you see on your news feed every day, or the 15 people that you see on Debatable every day, or whatever it is. Social media is only a part of it. Social media is a good thing. It can help you see a lot of things you wouldn't get to see. But you can't base your whole overview of a breed or a community or even one individual dog on by what you see on Facebook. Like, what the fuck are you basing your life on right now? Facebook? It just makes me say, like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Facebook
that's
gives
all
everybody a voice. Everybody.
Well, that was actually pretty good, James. I mean,
We're finished?
56 minutes right now. All I got to do is run ads, and it's done and over with.
That's really good.
Okay, so to have your product featured on the product of the week on the Sweet Life Saturday of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop Podcast, email realtylumley@gmail.com. If you'd like to have Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV at your next event, or if you'd like to have a private photo shoot or video services, you can also email realtylumley@gmail.com. Where can people find Jamie Sweet?
You can find
She don't want you to find her. This is the thing. That was the look. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I need
thought we
more
were like
people.
off the air.
No, still going.
Thanks, Ty.
So, just,
A lot.
Just
You can find me on Facebook.
Facebook at Jamie Sweet. It's spelled how you think it would be spelled.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Pretty simple stuff. Facebook at Jamie Sweet or Instagram at ShortyBull1. She doesn't even know that. I don't think she gets on there. I do know that.
Shorty Bull One.
Or I think there's another one.
Okay, I don't even know those.
Blue. Okay. Got that.
God. Ty.
Upcoming events. I have. Well, you have Atlanta World Cup, right? You're going to be.
Atlanta World Cup.
You're going to be at the World Cup, hopefully with some dogs.
Mm-hmm.
September 9th, Atlanta. Right, the convention center connected to the airport. You don't have to even rent a car when you get into town. There's a restaurant, bar, venue, everything right in one spot. September 9th, going down, World Cup, hosted by True Phase and Atlanta Kennel.
And that's my birthday weekend.
That's also Jamie Sweet's birthday weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That weekend, I will be in Australia with Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Also doing a Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast down there. Going to be emceeing that event. I actually said that I would have info on the venue and stuff by this episode. I don't. That was a lie. Okay? September 10th, Australia. I'm flying into Sydney. I hope it's close to there. I don't know. We're going to have a meet and greet the night before. I will have information eventually on the venue, the time for the meet and greet and stuff like that. If you have any questions, if you are located in Australia, watching or listening, and you have not heard about this show yet, private message me or email realtylumley@gmail.com. Everybody in Australia should be at this event. It's huge. The American Bully's growing so fast in Australia. It's insane. The numbers are going crazy already. We're going to educate some people on what Shorty Bulls are and what they should be down there, because there seems to be some confusion. We're also going to do, like I said, a little bit of a presentation on the American Bully and a meet and greet with the Q&A. So that's September 10th, Australia. I don't have anything for October.
Well, we have Team Positive.
What's that?
I believe that's the 16th.
Well,
I believe.
September 16th.
Yeah, it's in September, like the latter part of September. Teen Positive Barbecue in Topeka. It's a great, big, fun event.
Topeka, Kansas.
Topeka,
Teen
Kansas.
Positive. Joel Vargas is
Yes.
hosting that again.
Mhm.
So if you have
Teen
any
Positive.
questions about that, Topeka, Kansas, Teen Positive, Bully Barbecue and meet up or meet and greet.
Well, it's just a big day in the park.
Yeah, it's not a show
It's
or
not
anything.
a show, but it's really fun to get to.
The last one they had the
camaraderie is good.
news coverage. They had
Yeah.
a couple of games. Jamie put on a game of
A lot of different breeds.
Jeopardy with fake money and stuff like that. It's a good time. We're going to try to have Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV there to cover it this time if I can make it back from Australia in time. So if any questions about that, contact Joel Vargas. Shout out to Joel. Congratulations on the
Joel.
first one. I know it was a success, man.
What about the Kansas City show?
Kansas, that's August 26th.
Right, coming up.
I have nothing to do with that show. If you want to plug it, that's fine.
Oh,
They haven't even contacted me and let me know there was a show going on.
Oh.
But that's next weekend, I think.
oh.
August 26th, right? Or is it September 26th? We'll have to look
Well,
at that.
I don't know.
We'll have to look at that. We don't know.
Sorry.
We don't know.
I just heard something.
I don't have anything in October right now. And November 11th, big show. A little bit of a big show.
Kind of
Navy
a big
Pier in Chicago, ABKC Nationals. Your boy's judging. Motherfucker's judging Nationals. I don't know if I said that to you guys enough times yet. Probably going to say it about 25 more times. I am judging Nationals November 11th. Navy Pier. We'll see everybody in Chicago. Okay. That music wasn't running at all, was it? That's fantastic. As always, this episode of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop Podcast is brought to you by Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. If you would like to hear any and all other episodes of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop Podcast, hit Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com, go to the blog page. The newest episode is at the top of the page. The farther you scroll down, the farther back in the catalog you go, all the way down to number 1. Okay? If you would like to watch some videos, stay right on the home page. All the videos from the YouTube channel, Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV, are right on the home page. For anything and everything Bull-NA-ChinaShop, Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. We're also brought to you by the Bully Embassy. The Bully Embassy is an elite group of owners, breeders, handlers, and judges from around the world. We're one of the most sought-after groups in the bull breed community. You can find us at your next event. Just look for the big Bully Embassy tent, or link up with us on Facebook at The Bully Embassy, or just type in thebullyembassy.com. Also brought to you by Blue River Bullies, the source of the Shorty Bulls, the home of the creator, and what we like to call, we've dubbed the term, the river down here. So that is BlueRiverBullies.com. Am I right on that? Am I mistaken?
No, you are 100% right. And you just never know what's going to go on a Saturday at the river.
Sweet life.
I mean, it's hard
Saturdays. If you want to find us on social media, Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com on Facebook, Bull-NA-ChinaShop Podcast on Instagram, Bull-China-Shop Thai on Twitter, and Bull-NA-ChinaShop on Snapchat. And if you haven't yet, visit youtube.com/Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Watch the videos, leave a comment. If you like it, like it. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Anything else you want to say before we close out? 1 hour and 3 minutes. That is fucking spot on, Jamie Sweet.
That's good. That's really good for us.
Okay. You guys can listen to this outro. I love your faces. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining us. Episode 55, the Bull-NA-ChinaShop Podcast. The first and only podcast dedicated to bull breeds and the American bully lifestyle. I love your fucking faces. I'll see you next week. Actually, no, Wednesday. Well, it will be.
Wednesday.
It will be next week.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Take it from me. It's Tuesday. We will see you. Tuesday, okay? Tuesday.
Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Not just a YouTube channel, your main source for bull breed entertainment. I offer video services such as stud features, kennel features, and full event coverage. I also offer photography services such as puppy shoots, individual dog shoots, and full kennel shoots. You can see examples of each on any and all Bull-NA-ChinaShop social media pages. You can also see an in-depth look into my life and the American Bully lifestyle with my vlog found on the YouTube channel as well. Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV is also the home of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop Podcast, a real, raw, uncut podcast dedicated to the bull breeds and the American Bully lifestyle. You can find all episodes of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop Podcast, stud features, kennel features, event features, and all of the vlogs on youtube.com/Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Check it out and hit subscribe today.